everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Caterina, or Cat, and this is Infinite Wellness Within. In today's Pick a Card reading, our topic is turning a corner with a problem. Once you choose your card, you can find the timestamps in the description box below, which will take you directly to your reading. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is also linked below. Please remember that is the only way to book any of my services. If anyone ever reaches out to you, just know that is not me. Turning a corner with a problem. All right, we have group number 1 and 2, and group number 3, please. All right, group number 1, you have number 3 and the ship. And you also have the Onyx Squirrel. Group number 2, you have number 37 and the Ankh, and you have the Onyx Sea Turtle. Group number 3, you have number 4 and the House with the Onyx Elephant. Please take your time choosing your card or cards. It's perfectly fine to choose more than one if you're drawn to more than one, and I'll see you in your readings. Hello, group number 1. You have the Onyx Squirrel, and this is your card, number 3, and the ship. So I feel like you are going on a journey, you are moving towards something, and I feel like it's gonna pick up speed pretty soon. However, this does feel like whatever journey you're on, it's gonna take a little while to get there. And so that's going to require patience on your part, but Spirit is saying, look, you are going to get there. Your vehicle that is helping to transport you to where you're going is very, very strong. You can see how it's just easily moving through this water here. The water seems very strong as well. So Spirit says have faith that you're moving in the right direction. And yes, it will take a little bit of time, but there is positive change that's going to be coming forth with this idea that you have. So I feel that your idea is very strong. What you're moving toward, the energies where you will land are very, very strong. And so Spirit says just stay focused and everything is going to work out for you. Now, I feel for some of you, you might literally be traveling somewhere or moving somewhere or making a pretty significant change in your life. This could have something to do with definitely moving somewhere, finding a new foundation. It could be changing careers, changing jobs, changing mindset, just setting like a new foundation with something pretty significant in your life. For some of you, this could be kind of health related. Maybe some of you are on a health journey. Maybe you're starting to eat healthier, working out, taking better care of yourself, your mind, body, and soul, something like that. And so you can kind of think about it that same way. Let's say if you want to lose 20 pounds, that's not going to happen overnight, right? So it's like this slow progression, but every day I feel like you're making progress. And just a little bit, this card reminds me of the 6 of Swords. So I feel like for some of you that will apply and probably not to the majority of you. And so what I mean by that, if you don't know what the 6 of Swords is, some of you are moving away from a very, very stressful situation, something that was incredibly draining, causing anxiety, possibly keeping you up at night. And I feel in that sense, you have kind of packed your bags, you're moving on from that, and you've kind of seen the light of day. You've been enlightened about something, and you're going on this journey, which entails everything that I've already said. So yeah, kind of, some interesting things going on here. So let's look at your other cards and see what we get. All right, thank you. Oh, Okay, I was going to take 2, but you have 3, so let's just go with it. Yeah, look at that. Okay, first of all, you have number 33, and this is number 3 here. So the number 3 may definitely have some significance for you. It could be that something's going to happen in 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months for you. And then if we go into 3 years, it's definitely, I feel, not going to take that long before you see some progress. But it could be that 3 years from now, when you look back, you're going to be so relieved that you're in a different place. And I feel like there's this huge transformation coming in for you, especially when you get to that 3-year mark. It's just going to be night and day, completely different. So what we have going on here on this card is chaos and conflict. And you can also see this is interesting because this horse here is in the desert and everything seems to be falling apart. But what I'm noticing in this card is that things seem to be falling apart at the same time that they're coming together. So I feel that before you went on this journey, or maybe you haven't actually stepped forward on this journey yet, but these clouds are starting to dissipate and you're starting to see a new direction for yourself. Things are starting to come together regarding an idea that you have. And some of you maybe had to let go of certain things going on in your life, but I feel that the pieces are starting to come together for you. Everything is starting to make sense. You're getting a clear picture. An idea that you have is really starting to take shape and it's gaining strength and momentum. Oh, this is so interesting. So now you have number 36. So again, another 3. And then you have come to the edge. So you have all these hearts that it looks like this person had in their hand, and now they're kind of falling all about. And come to the edge. I feel that a lot of you are taking a leap of faith with something. Again, look at, you have the clouds here. So it's like you're getting this clear picture on something. Now, when we look at the title, Turning a Corner with a Problem, what I'm feeling is that you may have been focused on moving somewhere, either literally or figuratively, metaphorically speaking, wanting to create something in your life, wanting to create these amazing changes in your life. And once you got started with that, or maybe you were prevented from getting started with that because you had a lot of chaos and conflict in trying to get moving with that. But right here with Come to the Edge, what I'm seeing is that you're ready to take off. You're ready to take that leap of faith. So I do feel that something that was causing chaos and conflict, that was standing in between you moving forward with an idea that you have, you see how this is in between these two? This is being removed and things are starting to come together for you. Things are starting to line up, especially with all of these 3s here. All right, so you have breathe. It's also number 29, which is so interesting that this is clearly the number right before number 30. So I really feel like there was something standing in your way. That's being removed. So you are definitely turning the corner with a problem. And Spirit says, while you're going through this, you know, with this card, remember everything that I said over here. This is going to take some time. But I feel that you have turned that corner so that now things are going to start to move a little bit quicker. And just breathe through the tension, breathe through the anxiety. Just know that things are going to work out for you. Stay focused, keep visualizing, you know, do your meditation or your Reiki practice or whatever that is to help cleanse that energy so that you stay focused on your journey forward. What else can you tell us? So you have number 13, hawk and perspective. All right, the first thing that's catching my attention, look at that. Look at the sun here. So I feel like something happened where you started to see things differently than you saw them before. And that's why you're going on this journey. It's like you want to create something new in your life. You want to see something differently in your life. Maybe you want to do things differently. And you had some sort of difficulties in getting something started. So maybe there was a lot that you needed to kind of put together in your own mind like putting a plan together, creating the logistics of a problem, and maybe it has or did take you a little while to get everything kind of in alignment. But what I'm seeing here, especially with number 13, and by the way, you have number 3 again, okay? With number 13, here we have this, for me anyway, a sense of death and rebirth. So definitely you are starting something new. It's just this process. But any difficulties or problems that you've had in figuring out how to move forward or how to release yourself from a prior situation that you are in, that's all clearing up for you. So if you look at this card, I don't know if you caught this earlier, but do you see there's like the dark clouds here, and then you have the dark clouds here. So there is a storm that is leaving your life. I feel that you are actively working through something. You're getting a different perspective on things. Things are clearing up. And like I said earlier, things are going to start to really gain momentum and start moving fairly quickly for you. I mean, maybe not as quickly as you would like, but I feel definitely quicker than what they have been. All right, so once again, you have number 23. So you have a 3 again. So definitely if you've been seeing the number 3, Spirit is definitely trying to talk to you, okay? So you have armadillo and boundaries. So, you know, it's interesting that you have this card. This is such a powerful card. It's like you're a warrior. You're going forward. You're not going to let anything stand in your way. And look at the arrow here. You're going to hit your mark. And it's directly connected to this perspective card, where something that you're gaining here is going to help you forward on this journey that we have here and here. So not only do you have a very strong vehicle here to get you to where you need to go, right? Vehicle, boat, same thing in this context, right? You also have boundaries. You have this armor around you. And look at, you know, the third eye right here. Where you're going, it's going to bring you a great sense of foundation, and it's a great new start for you. This is a place where you can really kind of plant some roots, and something is going to take shape and take form for you. So something's definitely going to be long-term wherever you're going. There's a lot of longevity here. And yeah, of course, there's things that you're going to need to work through and figure out. But the point is that Spirit is making is that you're preparing properly. You're doing the proper things ahead of time so that things work out very well for you. What else can you tell us for group number 1, please? Group number 1 is turning a corner with a problem. All right, so you have the Devil card, and what's so interesting is that you have all the spider webs here. So I do feel that there's probably been some interesting twists and turns. There's also something kind of mysterious or something that you can't quite put your finger on about this journey. And what that means is that you're being divinely guided towards something. And that's exactly why you could have been experiencing a lot of frustration if you had any kind of delays in moving forward with this plan that you have. Because as you moved forward a little bit, you may have gotten stuck. You may have, like I said, you may have had delays. You may have had to do some kind of tricky work to work through something, to think about something, to analyze something and figure out how do these pieces fit together? How can I make everything happen the way I want it to happen? And so I feel that that is really, really key with your journey as you navigate through this change that you're going through, is if you need to, slowing down and feeling comfortable and understanding that you're not stopping, you're just slowing down, you're figuring things out so that you do things the right way, so that you do create that very, very strong foundation. Yeah, look at that. You have the Justice card. Look at what you're building here. Once again, can you build these buildings overnight? No. And if somebody did build a building like that overnight, I probably wouldn't want to be inside of it because I feel like it might fall apart, right? Same thing with what you're doing. So yeah, what you're doing, it is going to require and has required so far a lot of like analysis, but also a lot of intuition. And so it's like a fine balance between both of those things. But what I'm seeing here is that you're doing a really good job of that. And also there's something about boundaries that you have in both of these cards. So I feel like you either are doing a good job, or you may want to look at this because it'll make your life easier. And I'm about to tell you what. If you have any fears, if you have any doubts, cut those out right now, Spirit says, because this is very, very strong. This is not a weak boat, right? Took a long time to build this boat, and now it's time for your journey, or it's about time, right? Come to the edge. You're very, very close. And so what Spirit is saying here is something's going to work out in your favor. Roadblocks are being removed. You're going to be receiving clarity and downloads from the universe regarding what the next steps will be. Yeah, look at that. You have the Hangman. So this is a very interesting Hangman because, like I said, some of you have been going through delays. Some of you have had a difficult time figuring out, how do I move forward? You may have felt like the answer was just outside of your reach and you couldn't quite touch it. You couldn't quite put your finger on something, but look at what's happening here in this card, okay? You're getting clarity on something, you're seeing something, you are getting a different perspective on things. Very similar to what happened with this card here. Very, very similar to this card, how there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of conflict, because it's like at the exact same time things are falling apart, but at the exact same time you're being led down this path where things are starting to come together. So yeah, very confusing, but you're being enlightened. You're starting to understand things. And another thing that's interesting, you have number 11 here, number 12 here. So do you see the progression of like moving forward? Actually, you have 11, 12, 13. So very interesting. And then you have 23 and 33 here. So there's like this progression. I mean, even though this is 33, it's still like this progression of the third in the 20s and the third in the 30s. So definitely something about the threes is so significant for you. All right, so you have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, absolutely. You're protecting something. Look at how this is a snake here. So again, you're going through this death and rebirth. You are planting the seeds right now. You're nourishing something. You're protecting something. And once again, you know, the snake has amazing boundaries. You don't want to get too close to where the snake is. Otherwise, you're going to get bit, right? So I feel that perhaps that's what you've had to do. You might have had to kind of close out the entire world or most of the world to get to where you want to go. And Spirit says that's perfectly fine if you have to do that, especially if anybody is a naysayer, if somebody or something doesn't believe in your vision. You definitely don't want to feed into that kind of negativity, especially as you start this journey. So it is going to be a little bit of time because whatever's going on here with these eggs, they're not ready to hatch yet. But you're not just sitting here doing nothing. You're actually allowing what's inside these eggs to grow and take shape and form. And then when everything is ready, you're going to reach your destination over here. I also feel like if you're still waiting here with the Seven of Swords, you're going to know instinctively when is the right time to take action with something. So you have the Empress card. This is number 3 again. And look here how you have something that's waiting to be born. Now, isn't that interesting that you have the same thing right here with the Seven of Swords? So what Spirit is showing me here, and very similar cards, look at this. Look at how you have the flowers blossoming here. You have the flowers blooming. And then here it looks like they've opened up even more. So don't let your fears hold you back. You have a great idea. You have a great path forward. And where this is leading you is a lot of success. Everything that you've dreamed of is going to come true here. And there's a lot of comfort. There's a lot of safety. You're truly building something that's going to last a very, very long time. This is something that you will be able to continue nurturing and growing for quite some time. And for some of you, this is quite literally like your baby, meaning that it's a project. It's like a soul project, a soul journey. Something that you're doing is so incredibly significant to your journey and to where you're going. It's just going to be, I feel, quite life-changing for you. Yeah, look at that. You have the Emperor. So you're building something, you're creating something. Look at this building that you have here. So absolutely, with the buildings on the Justice card and on the Emperor card, you're building something, and the way that you're doing it is creating a very, very strong foundation. There's no way to rush this process. So Spirit says enjoy the journey as you're going forward. You're going to be very, very successful. You're going to get noticed for something, and there's like, I'm feeling like a victory that's coming with this. Okay, so we have the Five of Swords. And with the Five of Swords, it definitely feels like some of you left something that wasn't working out for you. There's a sense of gaining the upper hand on something, seeing what lies beneath something. So I feel like there's a couple different things going on here. I feel like where you were, so if you're leaving a situation, if you're moving into something different, this is going to be opposite of the energy of where you were in a very positive way. And it seems like where you were before, it was kind of an uphill battle. And no matter how hard you tried, there was always something that was missing, something that didn't feel quite right with that situation. But you have this feeling that where you're going is much more in alignment with you, your soul, your energy, all of those things. And you would be correct in thinking that. So Spirit says it's also important to not expect something negative that you just went through, because this is a new journey and you will not have to go through that before. Because what I'm picking up here, it's like you put forth a lot of effort for something or to create something and nothing really came of it. That's not going to happen this time. The Eight of Wands. Okay, this is what I was telling you earlier. Things have been a little bit slow moving, but they are picking up speed. There's something that's going to happen that kind of helps usher you along a little bit. Kind of like if you're trying to move through the air with these umbrellas, but there's no wind. Could you do it? Sure, you could figure out how to, what kind of motor or something you could put on here to get you to where you want to go. But would it be helpful if you had the wind to just kind of guide you? Absolutely. You wouldn't have to take the time to design a motor and then put it on these umbrellas here. So do you see what I'm saying? There's something that's going to happen, especially with this being underneath the Justice card, that's going to allow you to not only move forward, but that's going to make the journey much, much easier for you. Just like over here with the Ship card, if you started out just you, right, that would take a lot more energy to get this boat moving, but now there's two other people in the boat with you. So now that work is spread out amongst three of you, so it's much easier to get the boat moving. So that's exactly what's going to happen here with the Eight of Wands. The Three of Wands now, yeah. So absolutely, you're turning a corner with a problem, because here you already have a little bit of what you're looking for right here in this hand, but there's still more that you need to continue on this journey, to be successful with this journey. So it's really interesting that I was just talking about you starting on your own, and then you get the two other elements here with the two other people here. That's what you're waiting for right now. So you have part of it and you're ready to take off and move forward with this. Could you do it with just this one? Absolutely, you could. However, when you get the other two pieces that are coming in, that's when this Eight of Wands card comes in, where it makes things much easier. The same thing. Look at the Three of Wands here in the Hangman. So you have part of what you want, right? You can see the partial sky right here, but you need more. And so what's happening is as this zipper comes down more, these ships over here are starting to come into your view. It's going to make things a lot easier for you. So that could be literally other people coming in regarding your journey. It could be, you know, maybe getting a new job with the Justice card. It could be being released from a contract or something like that, which was once holding you back. And so with that, you have the one thing that you need over here, but you still need something else to get you going. That's coming in. Those things are coming in for you. So you have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I just feel like there was something missing where you were before. You had this idea, you had kind of like this longing feeling of you wanted to see more. You wanted to make things happen, but you couldn't where you were. You were severely limited in some sort of environment that you were in. You couldn't grow, you couldn't move. And I feel that was very creating like a feeling of suppression. That's changing for you. That is absolutely changing for you. And you can see the watering can here. So I feel like some of you are literally packing your bags and getting ready to move somewhere. No doubt in my mind that you're starting a new journey and it's going to be very successful for you. So we have the Page of Cups. This is exactly what you've been waiting for. I feel there's something kind of surprising that's going to happen for you. It's a happy surprise. It's good luck. And it's going to give you a different perspective on things. This is exactly what you've been waiting for. Do you see the water over here? So this person here, the page, is at the water waiting for something. The same thing, if you look at the Three of Wands, there's water back here on the card. So a very similar energy here. You're waiting for something. You're waiting for the answers. Some of you may have put out energy into the universe. So let's say just a very simple example that you're starting a new career, you're looking for a new job, something like that, and you've put out the energy into the universe by contacting companies, sending your resume, and nothing has happened yet. But this is what we're seeing here, is that something is happening, something is getting much, much closer, because you can't see it here in the Three of Wands, but it's literally right in front of your face right here. So this is something that's going to be that bridge from having an idea to jumping in the boat and moving forward on your journey. And you have the King of Pentacles. Could you have a better card to end this reading? This is truly amazing. So with the King of Pentacles, this is success. Now, once again, the thing with the King of Pentacles is that this is taking a long time, longer than we would hope, but it's a process. It's the journey. Spirit says enjoy the journey. You are going to be very successful. Financially, you're going to be feeling very, very secure. You are building something. Look at the Emperor. The Emperor goes through all the phases of having an idea, planning that idea, and then putting that plan to action and creating this amazing environment around the Emperor. Same thing here with the King of Pentacles, only you have already done it here. Look at all of these flowers blossoming around you. So you're also, and do you see here in the hair, there's like all these buildings right here. And so you have this amazing idea. Don't let anything hold you back. You are absolutely turning the corner to something that was preventing you from moving forward. And in closing out, remember this card right here, come to the edge. This is how close you are to being able to make some quite significant progress with your process. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe. If you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 2. You have the Onyx Sea Turtle, and this is your card, number 37, and the Ankh. So the energy that I'm getting from this card is very strong. There's a lot going on here. I feel that you're going through some sort of death and rebirth process. You have the fire here, which makes me think of the phoenix rising from the ashes. You have the clouds here, which makes me think that there's a lot of confusion connected to this entire process. So for some of you, this could be something that happened that was unexpected, something that kind of shook things up in your life. Now, the important thing to know, because there's a lot of emotions going on here, a lot of high emotions. Things are coming together for you. So definitely I feel like things needed to fall apart so that things can come together. There are little baby sprouts along here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I feel there was something that just wasn't quite to your highest good that was going on in your past. And it's just, I feel like something fell apart and it has created a lot of problems in your life. Now our title is Turning a Corner with a Problem. I feel like you're turning the corner with a lot of problems because the breakdown of something created, I feel like, the snowball effect in your life, but that's being fixed. Something is becoming, I'm seeing like solidified, or something's being formed, but it's creating like a stability for you, kind of like an anchor or something like that. So yeah, and then from there, once that anchor is really built and it's secure, then you're going to build something from there. So yeah, I feel like there's kind of like a spiritual rebirth. There's a huge change going on in your life right now, which for some of you is going to be very, very scary, very tricky, and causing some sense of anxiety. But that is exactly what is being fixed. All right. So you have number 29 in breathe. Yeah, exactly. Spirit is saying it's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out for you. Just breathe through the tension. And definitely listen to your intuition. I feel that's very important right now. I feel you also have someone on the other side who's watching out for you. This image is making me see, in your reading in particular, I'm seeing some kind of like angel, a spirit guide, a loved one who's passed on from the other side who's trying to communicate with you. So definitely listen to your dreams, pay attention to signs and synchronicities, because that would absolutely be someone on the other side who is trying to tell you, look, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out for you. I feel some of you may have maybe going through a breakup or a divorce or lost your job or something like that. Something very, very traumatic. Definitely unexpected events, I think. And some of you may have seen something coming up. Like, let's say if your job seemed a little bit shaky, you were kind of getting a feeling that maybe you should look for another job. And then all of a sudden something happened to end your job very, very quickly before you expected, or maybe you weren't expecting a breakup to happen. Whatever it is, through this process, I do see you leveling up your energy. And yes, it is a painful process, but that pain will dissipate for you. It will get easier for you. That's what I'm hearing with this card. All right, so we have To Be Fair in number 38. Isn't it interesting? You have 37 here, and then you have 38 here. So things are going to clear up for you. Things are going to balance out. You have the scales of justice here. So like I said, some of you could be going through a breakup, a divorce, something going on. Maybe some of you lost your job or you didn't get the job you expected. But what I'm seeing here with the scales of justice is that things are going to balance out in your favor. Anything that is off balance right now, it's absolutely going to balance out. Again, you have the owl here, so listen to your intuition. And with the owl sitting on this person's hat here, or the hair, I'm not quite sure exactly what that is, you will be receiving downloads from the universe. I absolutely, beyond a doubt, feel that someone or something is trying to communicate with you from the other side. So definitely listen to that. There's also what I think this is water back here. So there's a huge cleansing that's going on in your life right now. Is it painful? Yes. Is it necessary? Yes. Spirit is showing me that it is necessary. Something wasn't to your highest good. Something was holding you back. Something was not fair. You were not receiving a fair deal or a fair situation with where you were or where you currently are. Maybe you're still in the situation and it's still breaking down. It just was not to your highest good. It wasn't what you deserve at all. But where you're going, you're turning this corner, and there's going to be some very positive things that come out of this, even if it doesn't look like it right now. So you have number 12, brown bear, and strength. See, do you see what I'm saying? How you have the bear behind you? This is making me think of the mama bear protecting her children, right? You're very, very protected. I feel some of you, with this breakdown that's happening, some of you are being protected from a situation that would have happened had you stayed in this prior situation. Yeah, I just feel like there was something going on in this situation where things could have gotten much, much worse. What broke down, it could have gotten much worse for you, or there was some sort of hidden danger or some sort of massive headache that would have happened if you would have continued to move forward in this situation. And so I feel a lot of you couldn't see that. I do feel like you will, in the future, will either get closure or will see exactly what would have happened. Like, let's say if you didn't get a job that you really, really wanted, you had your heart set on it, and because you didn't get that, it's kind of snowballed into the spiraling of your life. But later on, you'll see that had you taken that job, that company is going to close in like 2 months. And so you would have just gotten settled, gotten comfortable, and then bam, that company closes. And you would be in the same situation anyway. And then you'd be starting over. And so, you know, it's something kind of like that where you're absolutely being protected from something. So Spirit is saying also with the Strength card that you turning the corner is gaining strength. And I feel this bear is kind of pointing you in the right direction. It's kind of saying, hey, look, sit still for a minute and look here, because looking here, you're going to see those answers. And so I feel that's another thing that I was picking up with the water here kind of cleansing, and then definitely with the breathe card, where trying to just stay calm and peaceful during this time of turmoil. All right. So we have number 7, unicorn, and uniqueness. So I feel that there could be something very unique about your situation, about you, something that wasn't being appreciated. And I also feel some of you throughout this process are going to find a unique gift that you have, or maybe you already know what that is. And Spirit is saying, look at what is standing right in front of you. Look at what is within you. So some of you could have a talent or a skill that you will be putting to use throughout this process. And that's exactly where you were supposed to be in this lifetime. So let's go back to the example of the job. If you didn't get that job that you really, really wanted and you feel devastated, and then it creates kind of this snowball effect in your life, well, what could be happening is that you're realizing that you have this talent or skill, that this is what you should be doing, not that other job. This is what you should be focusing on. And by focusing on this, that's when you can really kind of discover where you're supposed to be. Or let's say you didn't get that job, so you accept another job just so that you have money coming in, right? But then when you land in that job, the unexpected job, right? Because you thought you were going to get the one over here, you didn't get it, so then you land over here. There could be something very, very unique about that situation where you actually discover, oh my gosh, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, not over here. So I definitely feel like there's something like that going on here. It's kind of like something is being awakened within you to realize exactly what you're supposed to be doing, who you're supposed to be around, where you're supposed to be, you know, everything like that. So it's kind of a roundabout way to get there. You know, sometimes that's how the universe works, and it's very frustrating. But Spirit is telling me that when you get to the other side of this problem, you're going to realize that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. What else can you tell us, please? For group number 2, the Three of Swords, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's like something really, really hurt your heart. Something is making you feel quite devastated. And I feel that you feel really like discombobulated. You feel like you don't know which way is up. You don't know which direction to go. You don't know what to do. And it's very important that this card landed below the Breathe card, because Spirit is saying that you need to work through these feelings, work through these emotions. I'm also feeling like this is going to heal. This is absolutely going to heal. And this is what I was saying earlier. There was something going on where you weren't receiving what you deserved in this situation. Spirit is telling me you deserve much, much better than anything you ever would have received in this situation here. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is exactly why you deserve better, because you have the Queen of Pentacles energy. I feel like you are very committed to things. You put in a lot of effort, a lot of thought into things, and you were not receiving back what you were putting into something. So the environment where you're going is going to be very reciprocal. So environment, situation, person, place, thing, situation, right? Whatever your particular situation is, it's like you would give and get like maybe a fraction of the energy that you put into it. So there is going to be a new environment for you. This environment is not only going to be reciprocal, but it's going to feed something that you have to offer. So it's going to grow. You will feel like you're appreciated. You will really set roots in this new situation. And you will also appreciate this new situation. There's a lot of productivity happening. There's a lot of growth, external and internal growth. This is like a really kind of complicated process that you're going through, but Spirit says it's absolutely going to be worth it. If you have any concerns about finances, like let's say you lost some finances through some sort of situation, you will regrow those finances. I'm seeing that not just that, but you will have savings. You will have money left over to put in savings or do fun things with, buy nice things for yourself, maybe take a nice trip somewhere, spoil yourself, whatever it is. So there is a sense of rebuilding here. So the Five of Wands, this is a very interesting Five of Wands, because it's like, I feel that almost to stay in the situation that you were in, maybe some of you are still in it, you can't be yourself. And part of the reason why you can't be yourself is because you're not appreciated. Someone or something is not seeing the uniqueness of yourself. Someone's not seeing or appreciating, or someone just doesn't care. Someone or something just literally does not care. And that is not okay. That is absolutely not okay, because you have so much to offer. Spirit is like, okay, look, if you didn't walk away from this situation, we were going to force the situation to crumble so that you do have to walk away from that situation. Now, I do feel like you're not exactly losing everything. I feel that you're walking away with something. So does it hurt that this process happened? Absolutely. But if you can work through the process, you're not actually going to be losing anything. Because if you see here, this person has 4 wands and this person just has 1. So you're walking away with much more than what you ever would have had in that situation, and you're not leaving anything behind either. This was like a losing battle. It was a losing battle. And one way or the other, it was going to come to an end. Like, you could have stayed in the situation. So if some of you didn't choose to walk away from a situation, you could have stayed in the situation, but eventually, I mean, it was literally on its last leg. It just was not going to be productive ever. And I know that can be very, very hard to hear, but eventually that may help give you a sense of closure. The Knight of Swords. All right, so what Spirit is saying with this card is run, don't walk away from the situation that was causing so much chaos and conflict in your life, because there's so much better for you. There's so much better. I'm also hearing something about trusting your intuition. If something doesn't feel right within that situation, it absolutely was not right. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing with the Knight of Swords is that you're on the right path. You are absolutely, when you walk away from this situation, things get easier for you almost instantly. I mean, literally almost instantly you turn that corner and the clouds clear up. You have clarity. Maybe you don't have clarity instantly, but in the way of the universe, things clear up for you and things just literally automatically start to line up for you. So the process of, getting through this, how quickly you get through it, that's up to you. Some of you are going to need longer to grieve this here. Others of you go through a grieving process and then you become very kind of angry and you aggressively move away from even thinking about this idea. And then it happens very quickly for you. And then once you move away from that, then you go through this healing process. So yeah, it's just going to depend on each individual watching this. But the important thing to know is that the universe is supporting you and this universe is actually moving very, very quickly to replace anything that was lost. All right, so we have the Four of Cups. Yeah, there was something going on with your situation that just was not right. You can see here, there's parts of her flesh that is literally missing here. And your heart is up here. Like there was something that didn't align with your heart within this situation. Something wasn't right. And I feel like you tried to fix the situation. Like I said, you put a lot of effort into the situation and it wasn't reciprocated. That is not okay. Spirit says that you deserve to have things reciprocated and it was not being reciprocated. You can see here, she has this head in her hands and there's it's like she's trying to do surgery or something. Trying to fix this. If you could see, there's like a surgical tool right there. So along with the Five of Wands, you could have stayed there until it literally crumbled around you, which some of you it may have. It was unfixable. And I'm so sorry that it was unfixable. Now, here's the thing. Do you see this other cup right here? This is connected to the uniqueness card. So you had to break free from this situation here. And almost instantly, this cup is on its way to you. Almost instantly. And it's a very unique situation that's going to be coming into your life in that it's exactly the opposite of whatever this was here. And your uniqueness will be celebrated. Any ideas that you have will be picked up, will be celebrated, and you'll be moving forward with something. Anything that was lacking over here is going to be fixed. So you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you kind of learned a lot in this situation, and you might not see that right now, but you will. And you also didn't lose. I feel like even though the situation was devastating, you don't want to give up. You want to keep moving forward with something. You know that you have a lot to offer and you're going to move on. Like this Knight of Swords, it's like, okay, I'm out of here. And you take off as fast as you possibly can. I do feel with the Four of Cups, you do take some time to regroup and recover. Again, this Four of Cups and the Breathe card, it's up to you how long you want to take with that. But then here with the Knight of Pentacles, do you see what's happening here? You move away very quickly, or at least that's what Spirit hopes you do very quickly with the Knight of Swords. You sit for a minute, you think about things, you realize that you are fighting a losing battle, and then all of a sudden you see this other opportunity right here. I mean, it happens that quickly for you. If you allow it to, it's up to you. And then here you are off to conquer something else, something that is much more suited to you. The Moon card. So I feel, you know, yes, this is something very painful. It's very confusing. You're going through this death and rebirth process, but you're also discovering more about who you are and what you deserve. And so I feel like once you get an understanding, like a full, true understanding of how you were mistreated, how you were not receiving what you should have been receiving in this prior situation, I feel you kind of develop a sense of boundaries and a strength in your mind where you're no longer going to accept anything that is less than what you deserve. And then also, as that happens, you start to attract exactly what you deserve. The Ten of Swords. Yeah, whatever this was, it was very, very painful. But the thing is, okay, continuing on from what I just said, you start to believe in what you deserve and you start to attract what you deserve. So this painful process you will never have to go through again. So not only are you turning a corner with this problem, but you never have to repeat that situation again. Because through this process, you're becoming more of the person that you're supposed to be, and you're going to be stepping into full alignment with where you're supposed to be at this point in your life. You see what I'm saying? Your very next card after what I just said is the Star card. Absolutely. You will be receiving everything that you've wanted, something that you were trying to accomplish in this prior situation, but it was just literally impossible. You're coming through the storm. Do you see here this water, the waves crashing up here, and then this kind of swirling energy going on here? It's, you know, the energy I'm feeling is like if you, of course, this is metaphorically speaking, if you were in a situation that was very volatile, and then it got so bad that there was, okay, so let's say on the horizon you can see the storm coming in, very, very volatile skies, and then a tornado comes in or a hurricane comes in, and it picks you up, takes you out of a situation, and it drops you off in a completely new environment. And you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? I don't even know where I am right now. Well, that happened to get you in alignment with a higher energy, your higher purpose, new people, new environments, just things vibrating on a much, much higher level than where you were before. So I just feel like you were losing yourself in this prior situation. Some of you may have been becoming very depressed. Some of you may have known that you deserve better, but you didn't know how to get out of the situation. So yeah, you're turning this corner, and where you're going once you turn that corner, it's like an aha moment. It's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I leave sooner? Why didn't I see this sooner? Why didn't this opportunity come to mind before now? But Spirit says it's okay. You didn't waste any time, because now you'll be on the right path. The Three of Cups, exactly. Look at all these butterflies. Look at that. You're oh my gosh, you're realizing that you're in the right place. It's so much lighter. Look, so you have the Three of Swords here and you have the Three of Cups here. Do you see the difference in those two cards? You didn't even, like, your head isn't even on over here. It's missing. So, like, and I feel that this could be your head over here that you're actually working on. You're trying to figure something out. I feel some of you are literally trying to figure out, wait, what was I doing over there, right? So it's all going to make sense to you. So here, there's a celebration that comes through with this journey that you're on. And again, you have people around you who appreciate you, who support you, who also appreciate the journey that you went through to get right here. It's so peaceful, so just comfortable where you're going. It's literally like you have the death part over here and this is your rebirth over here. I feel you're absolutely achieving a dream, a goal that you've always had. You're achieving that over here. The Two of Pentacles. Okay, remember what I said about the tornado, the hurricane, something lifting you up, taking you out of a situation and putting you somewhere else? I feel like that's exactly what's happening here, because this person is actually in the air. Right here you can see a mountain below, and you know, it's like this bird is picking you up and taking you somewhere completely different. And this person here looks quite relaxed to me. So where you're going, things are going to balance out. It's absolutely reciprocated. This could be a new job. This could be a new work environment, a new place to live. Some of you may have had a relationship that came crashing down, and you know, some of you had to leave that situation. But what's coming up, not only am I seeing a potential for a new relationship, but I'm seeing you changing a lot of different aspects in your life because something broke down in a prior romantic relationship. So it's kind of like you're up-leveling your entire life. The Three of Wands, exactly. So anything that you've been waiting for is on its way to you. You're absolutely turning the corner with this problem, because here you're waiting for something. And what's coming in is this ship here, and there's two ships behind this one. So again, there's something about several different areas in your life that will be changing. So let's say that if you had a breakup with someone and then you say, you know what, I'm just going to quit my job. I'm going to move somewhere new. I'm going to find a new job. I'm going to find new friends, you know, things like that. Well, that's exactly what's happening here. You're being rewarded for taking that chance, for breaking away from something that wasn't to your highest good. And it's leading you, this whole entire situation is leading you on the right path. So that is what I see for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 3. You have the Onyx Elephant, and your card is number 4 and the House. All right, so I'm getting some interesting energy from this card. I feel like you are turning the corner with this problem, and you will be entering a time that is much more stable for you. I feel that there's a sense of grounding, there's a sense of growth, there's absolutely a sense of building something, of being comfortable and feeling like you belong somewhere. There's a very positive environment with a lot of growth potential where you're going. Like whatever you're stepping into, I feel like you could be absolutely stepping into a new community or being around new people. And this community and people, I feel they're very understanding, they're very caring, they're also very protective. And it's like you're moving into something that's going to also provide a sense of security for you. Like you're going to feel like, this is where you belong. So absolutely, you feel very, very comfortable, very safe here. So maybe some of you are absolutely purchasing a new home or moving somewhere, or maybe building a business. Some of you might be working from home. This could also have something to do with increase in finances, an increase in health. So overcoming some kind of health issue or becoming stronger. So that is kind of just a general overview of what I'm seeing with this first card. I just keep getting this energy of like you're building something. Something is gaining strength and structure, and you're really, really going to feel very, very comfortable with how this turns out. And you're absolutely turning the corner with some problem. What else can you tell us for group number 3? right, you have number 15, message in a bottle. Ooh, and there's a phone inside here. I feel like some of you could be receiving some form of communication. And some of you might have a fear that you're not going to receive this communication, but I feel like it's already on its way to you. So I feel this right here, the message in the bottle, the telephone, the communication, this is the solution to your problem. So I feel this right here is absolutely indicating that you're turning the corner with something. For some of you, this is coming from a faraway place. Something, either that or it took so long to get here that it felt like it was never going to arrive. There's a lot of happy emotions connected to this, and I feel there's something about you standing up once you receive this information or this communication. So it's almost like standing up, like being ready for something, feeling a great sense of relief that something is finally here for you. You can move on. You can start moving into this over here. And then we have number 37, never ending story. Yeah, because I feel like trying to turn the corner with this problem, I feel like it was something that, like I said earlier, it took so long to get here. It was something that was ongoing and you couldn't reach a resolution with it, or something was lacking in the situation. You couldn't see a solution. This right here is exactly what's changing. You're overcoming this, and the reason how you're overcoming this is right here with that communication that's coming in. What else can you tell us for group number 3? I almost said 1, I'm not sure why. All right, group number 3. So you have number 27, seal, selkie, and longings. Yeah, see, there's something in your heart that is missing, something that you're looking for, something that you're trying to create. This could definitely be some form of communication that you're waiting for that you don't have yet, but it is just on the horizon for you. You also have number 37 here. You have number 27 here. So I feel like there's going to be a huge jump from, again, I keep seeing you standing up. So it's like you were stuck here, but with whatever this communication is, it allows you to not only stand up, but all of a sudden make some huge leap over here toward something that's in your heart, something that you've had your eye on, something that maybe you've been trying to visualize. You've been trying to put the pieces together with how to achieve that, how to acquire something, how to move forward with something. And that will be happening because you're receiving the knowledge that you need that's going to allow you to achieve a dream or a goal that you have. Okay, look at, you have number 24, oyster and manifestation. Wasn't I talking about visualizing something that's in your heart? Something that I feel with the never ending story, you were giving up hope because you're not seeing visually what you want to happen in your life. Right here, okay, manifestation. So it's going to happen for you. Not only will you turn a corner with a problem, but I feel that you, throughout this process, throughout any delays, because I feel timing was an issue for you. So it could be that divine timing is what you were waiting for. It could be that's why things hadn't happened yet. That's why you were kind of stuck here. But throughout that process with the pearl here, I feel like something was polished, something was upgraded, something was perfected throughout this process. So we'll see if we get more information about what that is. But this situation here, if you would have opened this shell too early, you wouldn't have the pearl, right? So definitely I feel divine timing is going on here. I also feel like you're very, very protected as you go through this waiting process, as you transition from waiting into taking action. So just keep that in mind. All right, what else can you tell us for group number 3, please? All right, and I feel like these need to come out first. Oh, I love this for you. You have the 4 of Wands. That is amazing because this is literally showing you that everything is coming together for you. And again, look at, there's some sort of community around here. You have people celebrating you, people being very interested in what you're doing. You could be like the star of the show. You could be putting something together that you're now going to bring out into the public. Because I feel for some of you, this is like family and friends and like a support network. Some of you, it's like your soul tribe coming together. And others of you, and this is showing that someone's going to notice what you're doing. So yeah, like an audience, people applauding you, people being interested in what you're doing. So let's just say if you're starting a business or something like that, or if you have a skill or a talent, you're receiving some sort of recognition for that, or you're receiving a new job or an opportunity to put your skill or talent on display. Or if it's a business, you're gaining in popularity. And things are slowly but surely, you will slowly but surely start to see the rewards for your actions, for the hard work and dedication that you've put into something. But I feel like it happens, there's something that happens kind of out of the blue, something that is very surprising that happens. So I feel like it definitely picks up speed. So let's see how like the speed of things moves along as we go forward. All right, so this is pretty amazing. So here you have the 9 of Wands. So this is showing that you are definitely frustrated. You're thinking that maybe this isn't going to happen for you, or maybe you should give up on things because you've been waiting and waiting and waiting for so long. It's like, okay, I'm going to throw my hands up in the air. I'm going to walk away from this, especially because this is going halfway below never-ending story, or maybe 3/4 below never-ending story. Now, this is very important. What Spirit is saying here is don't give up on this idea because it's going to happen. I'm going to keep pointing over here, okay? Something is coming in. This is a message. This is communication. This is a missing key, a missing element to getting this thing moving and getting it started. So don't give in to your fears that this is not going to happen. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, so this is a really interesting Knight of Swords because the Knight of Swords is a very, very quick moving card. However, in your particular reading with this particular card, I feel like something stopped you, which is this little dragon creature, whatever it is down here. And you needed to, so because this is a quick moving sword, any slowdown because you needed to stop for a minute and deal with this problem, that is what made it even more frustrating for you because you want to keep going. You want to, get to where you're going, but you couldn't. You had to stop for a minute. I mean, it even looks like this horse had to stop in mid-step. So yeah, but this is a really good card for you because this is showing that you have just this one little thing in the 9 of Wands right now that's holding you back, that's preventing you from moving forward. This is it right here. So once you take care of this, and you're finding the solution to how to get rid of this on your path right here. And then you are able to move forward as quickly or as slowly as you want. So let's see what we have next. Yeah, exactly. I love this for you. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So with this particular Wheel of Fortune, I feel like time was running out, especially look at your hourglass right here. You can see the sand is getting very, very low. And the lower it gets, the more your heart was sinking, the more you thought that maybe your wish wasn't going to come true. But what this card is showing is that there is a change in the air for you. Good luck is coming into your situation. I just heard something is swiftly taking place. And I'm seeing wind. which could be because this person is down here blowing on the fire, but I'm literally seeing wind come in. Remember I saw you standing up? Well, now I'm seeing wind coming in so swiftly that it kind of, phew, it takes you over here. And it's almost like, wait a minute, what just happened? So it's kind of like a whirlwind where you go from this to this. Like, do you see, you go from this to this actually is probably the better way, because this is what's connecting these two things. And we also see that right here. You're going from being down on your luck, thinking you're going to have to give up. And how are you going to support this here? You see, there's what this looks like a family here. So this, you know, could be the dad, the mom, the baby here, the animals here. And so you have the home here, and then you have the home here. So it's like you feel like you're going to have to give up on this dream because it hasn't worked yet. But that's exactly what's changing for you. The Three of Wands. Look at this card. This is your ship coming in. This is what you've been waiting for. This is that message in a bottle. You literally have a ship coming in with the message, with the information, the communication you've been waiting for. And look at how these two cards are below the manifestation card. It's amazing to me. So Spirit says, don't give up. Now you have the Hermit. Okay. So once again, this card goes right back to message in a bottle. You've been placed on hold with something because all of the elements were not ready yet. There was something that was either missing or something on the other side wasn't quite ready to move towards you yet. So a person, place, thing, situation. So an image that just popped up in my mind, I'll use this as an example. Let's say that you were looking for a new job, and because this is just a very simple example, right? It doesn't have to be work related. So you're looking for a new job, and you're really trying to manifest like this perfect, amazing job. But you know, you keep going on interviews and it's a never ending story because you feel like you do very well in the interviews, but then you don't get hired. Well, if you look at the other side of the issue that you can't see, your perfect job is over here. But the problem is that somebody else is in your position right now. But what's happening in between these things is that this person gives their notice and then they're going to be gone in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is. And so what you're looking for over here, it was there for you, but it wasn't ready yet. And so as time goes on, you're getting more and more frustrated. You're not seeing what you need. And then, you know, you keep sending out resumes, and then this person says they're going to leave. So you happen to send your resume to that company. They call you in for an interview and you're like, yeah, it's a never ending story. Nothing's going to come of this. So you leave the interview, you kind of forget about it. You go on about your life. Next thing you know, you get this message in a bottle, you get that communication from that company, and they say, hey, we'd love to have you join the company. So do you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm seeing going on here. So you were kind of like in the dark about something because whatever it is that you're trying to go toward, it wasn't ready yet, but it is becoming ready. So this can be a person, place, thing, situation. If you're looking for the perfect house, somebody hasn't put their house on the market yet, or somebody hasn't moved out of an apartment or a townhome or whatever it is, right? So that is exactly what is shifting for you. And that's how you're going to turn the corner with this problem. So here you have the Emperor. Yeah, I could tell you beyond a doubt what it is that you're trying to create, what it is that, like this vision that you have. It is going to happen. The Emperor is right below the Four of Swords. So this idea that you have, this vision that you have with the Emperor card, we're seeing it being not just manifested right here, but also celebrated. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep working toward this goal that you have. It's just a matter of time before things shift in your favor. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that. So I went to pick up this card and it almost like twisted in my fingers. It was really weird. And so I was curious, what is this card that has this amazing energy to it? Because it was almost like, kind of like it was, what I'm hearing is like it was so hot, like either hot off the presses or like something that is going to take off for you, and so you got to hold on to it, like not take off that you're not going to be able to experience it, but take off and like you're going to grab a hold of it and you're going to run run off with this thing and everything's going to come into alignment for you. And then, so this is the Justice card, which is also very interesting because the scales right here and right here, they're off balance, but so that's definitely showing that you have this problem going on. But what's happening is they're coming into balance. You can see someone over here putting something into this scale here, which is then going to drop this one and raise this one. And then everything's going to be balanced out for you. So this could absolutely be some form of communication. You are cutting away something that was holding you back. And this could definitely be signing some sort of contract or signing some sort of paperwork, getting rid of a contract, so coming to the end of a contract, or getting out of a contract or something like that. So don't let your fears get the best of you. You have an angel and a devil here. So I feel like there's a fine balance between being realistic and being fearful. So just try to stay calm and know that things are shifting in your favor. And not only will you get what you deserve here, but I feel like there's more to come with this situation. It's like, yes, you've built the house over here, but what are you going to put inside the house? So there's a lot of other elements attached to this, but your problem is with the never-ending story is that you couldn't turn the corner because you were like stuck here, but that's coming to an end. You have the Hermit here. It looks like this person is coming out of a cave or out of the dark woods. So this is absolutely showing, as well as the Nine of Wands, that you're right at the end of a cycle, right? And then what do you have right here? The Wheel of Fortune, which also says you're at the end of a cycle. But the Wheel of Fortune specifically says that this new cycle beginning is a very, very lucky time for you. Something that is destined to be in your life is about to come into your life. So here you have the Three of Cups. So once again, things are coming together. I am definitely seeing, again, this community vibe, new friends, new environment, but it's like a supportive environment, supportive friends. Think of like very supportive people, supportive situations coming together to help you along the way. You feel very, very comfortable. There's a sense of loyalty here. You have the dog here. So yeah. There's also a celebration. I mean, you have a celebration here with the Four of Wands. You have a celebration with the Three of Cups here. So I feel like you're going to celebrate this new situation, this news that's coming into your life. And you're also going to be celebrated. People are going to want to celebrate you and talk about you, you know, like in a positive light. I'm seeing something spreading also. So let's say if you are starting a business or something like that, there's like word of mouth, very, very positive word of mouth. The High Priestess, yeah. So there was something that was hidden. This right here is exactly what was missing. And you are receiving that knowledge here so that you can move forward. And once again, there's a timing element that I'm feeling with this High Priestess. So it's the timing of the situation, especially with the High Priestess being below the Wheel of Fortune. I feel that there was really nothing that you could do or can do right now to speed up the situation. Things are going to happen when they're going to happen. But the good news is that this is happening fairly soon for you. So you have the Tower card. So remember how I saw fire. Remember I said like spreading like wild, like rapidly like fire or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I said, but you have fire here. So this is telling me, this is a visual of what I said earlier, because what I'm picking up very, very strongly with this card is what you can't see, especially because it's connected to the High Priestess here. So what you're not seeing in this situation is the breakdown of this situation over here. So this is what you want over here. So let's go back to the example I gave of you want your perfect job. You don't necessarily know, maybe you do know exactly where you want to work. And once again, this doesn't have to have anything to do with work. It's just a simple example. So, you know, you can't accept this job until someone quits this job. Well, that breakdown of someone quitting that job is happening in this card here. So this Tower card is actually a very, very positive sign in your reading, saying that the breakdown of something over here is happening so that you can move forward with that situation, because that situation over here is no longer going to be in someone else's hands or in someone else's life. Oh, there was something else. What was it? Oh yeah. And so that is then allowing the Three of Wands. It's allowing that boat and that message to come into your life. All right. So let's look at your last card. You have the Lover's card. Okay, now this is interesting because when I was talking about the Tower card, I was getting the sense that some of you could be in a situation, and this isn't the only thing I'm going to say about this card. So if this first thing doesn't apply to you, just wait for a few minute or two, and then I'll get to the, excuse me, I'll get to the other things. But I had this visual in my mind when I was reading the Tower card, that some of you could be in like a situationship, or you could have some situation where, let's say, if you have a romantic interest, but let's just say that they're going through a divorce, especially with the Justice card here. And, you know, you have this mutual interest in each other, but you want to wait until the divorce is finalized, right? Or maybe you're not waiting. That's none of my business. That's your business, right? I don't judge anyone or anyone's situations. I'm just reading energies here. So, you know, what's happening is things are shifting. So until this situation is released over here, you're going to be waiting for something to happen. Maybe some of you with the Lover's card could have someone who's on a different continent, a different country, a different state, and you can't be together because you need to wait until your job transfers you to the other person's location, right? Something like that. So something like that could be going on here with a relationship, but you're getting the answer, something is shifting so that you can be with this person. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing here, exactly what I said with the example of the job, where you're waiting for something to shift. You're waiting for someone to give their notice so that you can come in and accept that job offer. Well, here with the Lover's card, I'm seeing that that is happening. There is a sense of sacrifice here, though, with any situation that this may be, because the sacrifice is that waiting period, waiting until you can move forward, waiting for something to come to an end. So that is what I'm seeing here. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching.